Ah, goodness gracious. It should be working now on Twitch, I believe. We good on Twitch? Hello, hello. Let's see. Hopefully. Yeah, we're good on Twitch. So I'm a little pissed right now, everybody. Yeah, we're live on Twitch, but we are not live on YouTube because apparently
The videos are
I
just going to
I paid for a StreamLabs Ultra membership for 1 year for $149 for a year. And they have deactivated my Ultra membership. So I can no longer multi-stream. No, I have an unlimited limit with Ultra on Streamlabs. But now I apparently do not have an Ultra membership. It says get Ultra, so I'm going to need to talk to their support. I have Ultra. I see it on my account. Yeah, so I paid I have the receipt literally right here. Can I? No, it has my personal information. But I have the receipt for Streamlabs Ultra right here for 1 year. I bought it on July 17th, 2024. And it is saying I do not have it. I know, Rocco Gobelino, but it was so much easier to use Streamlabs to set up stuff like chat and everything. But let me go. Oh, thank you. Gardisto, man. Thank you for the T1. Heck yeah. Seriously, a common Streamlab L. Let me post this to YouTube. Unfortunately, Streamlabs messed up. Join us on Twitch for now. I am angry at Streamlabs, everyone. So I'm gonna rant for just one more second, and then we're gonna get into the actual content of the evening, because I do have limited time because I do have to put my daughter to bed. We'll leave that there. Actually, we'll delete these two, unfortunately, and we'll get into it. But how's everybody been doing? Man, it has been a while. I have to get back in the swing of things. I had a headache. I was sick for the last 2 weeks, obviously, as I have been parading all around. And then I had a daughter. But between now and the last time I streamed, we have an early access announcement for Path of Exile 2, and I have not really talked with anybody live about it. So it's happening. It's November 15th, and if we want to play, we get to play. How awesome is that? I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty hyped up. Ooh. Question to put a smile back. Are you going to play the Gauntlet and die to Hillock like many of us? Ulrich, I am going to be playing the Gauntlet. Yes. It actually starts on a stream day, and I'm going to see if I can play a little earlier and start a little earlier and get in on the action. I'd love to try to be able to push 2 maps, but I don't know how likely that is, honestly. I mean, the mods look insane. I don't know if you guys saw the mods for Acts 6 through 10, but everybody gets extra, or monsters get extra get extra chaos, extra physical damage as chaos, 30% or something like that. So unless you're capped chaos and you farm amethyst rings, I think they start dropping right at the end of Act 5. You're kind of screwed. I saw the mods. Wait, no. Ulrich, I don't think there's multi-proj anymore. I think they took out multi-proj there, right? I think so. I think there's no more multi-proj. Oh, there isn't Acts 1 through 5? Oh, no, I totally didn't see that then. Ooh. Okay. All right. I was going to try to make this stream productive, everyone. So we're going to have some fun here, I think. I hope. Let's see. I would like to do something that everybody has been talking about for quite some time. And if you go onto the beloved Path of Exile 2 subreddit, which people love me on the Path of Exile 2 subreddit. Do you guys know that? You guys know that I am beloved on the PoE2 subreddit? I didn't know that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool how much they love me over there. I really love it. There we go. Done. There we are. Okay. Yeah, they love me on here. They love me on this subreddit. So they've been talking a lot about league mechanics, transferring from PoE1 to PoE2. And a lot of you guys have also been kind of curious about that. What I think and generally what the community thinks about leagues that'll go from PoE1 to PoE2. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do just live here, basically a list, just go through the wiki page of every single PoE league and decide what we think is actually going to make it to Path of Exile 2. Literally from point, I think, 8 all the way to 3.25. I thought that would be kind of fun to do here today. So I'm going to pull up a notepad document, and we are going to do just that today. So let's see. Let me make sure that I have Windows all good here. Source. We're going to do a window capture, add source, new source. We are going to grab Notepad, and it's not going to look like that. That looks silly. There we go. We're going to make it much smaller here. Okay. Hello. That is way too small. I'm going to zoom in massively. Okay. Great. All right. I thought this would be kind of fun. Yes, it is going to be a produced video. Because, yeah, guys, I mean, we're not getting a lot of PoE2 content directly from the devs, so I thought it would be fun to talk about the archetypes that we're going to be getting with the new classes that eventually will come our way. Whoa! Hey, Gavrin, dude, thank you so much for the T1, dude. How you doing, man? If people have not seen Gavrin's lore series, he has now fully converted to Path of Exile after making a kick-butt video about the history of grinding your games that I seriously loved. He's now going full lore. He's doing the hour-long breakdowns with the snippets of dialogue, with him summarizing everything. I'm going to go a lot more bite-sized. Not as bite-sized as Schwingy. Schwingy did like a 5-minute cartoon, half serious, half not serious video about the lore. That was also great. And then there's Gavrin, who's doing the big breakdown. I'm going to go in the middle, and I'm going to do like 10 minutes for all the acts, 10 minutes for all the endgame expansions, and 10 minutes for all the leagues. And I'm going to focus on what I think will be relevant for Path of Exile 2. Oh, yeah. I know I missed the Martyr idea. I know, Omega Cybers. I also forgot about Claws. I totally forgot about Claws, which will 100% be coming in with the Assassin. I mean, the Shadow, right? I'd assume. Okay. So, let's see. Can I easily wrap? All right, guys. We're gonna list them off, okay? I'm gonna type out the first 10, and then we're gonna go through. And I'm gonna give my justifications. And this is by 1.0. I'll do all the way until the bottom. How about that? We're gonna do a war, okay? I want you to, if you're really serious about some of these saying, I want you to defend your ideas. Or some of these coming back by PoE to 1.0. Okay. All right. So how about we do rankings of heck nah, maybe, definitely. Okay? Those are going to be the ratings. All right? Ooh. Oh, probably Huntress. I mean, maybe if claws still exist, we literally have not seen any claws. Right, guys? Claws are a big nothing. They've literally not appeared anywhere. Maybe they just cut them. I don't even think we've seen them as loot, right? I don't think. Onslaught, yes. So we shall explain each of these league mechanics. This is a heck nah from me. Onslaught is literally just like a haste buff to monsters. Like 20% increased attack speed. It's literally the Onslaught buff that we get from Silver Flasks on monsters. That was a whole league in Path of Exile 1. These are the two first leagues. Onslaught was a softcore league and Anarchy was a hardcore league, because in Path of Exile 1, during the earliest days, the leagues weren't all in the same as they are now. They were split into a softcore league and a hardcore league. So they'd come out with two different league mechanics at once, and they'd be split by basically, you know, permadeath or non-permadeath. So this just a simple buff. This is monster modifiers. No, it's not making it into the game at all. Hey, Zinski with the T1. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that, dude.
For the Calgar.
Thank you so much. I haven't seen you in the chat before. You a longtime follower? You coming from YouTube or what? That sounds like a horrible idea. Yeah, especially in Path of Exile 2 series. So this almost brings up... Oh, are you talking about the split of hardcore and softcore or Onslaught? I thought you were talking about Onslaught, but I think you might be talking about the split of hardcore versus softcore league mechanics. Bringing up Onslaught 2 and just overall monster buffs in Path of Exile 2 is going to be very interesting. Because can you imagine the way that combat is being designed in Path of Exile 2, where the white mobs and the blue mobs actually have mechanics giving them buffs like they get from monster map mods in Path of Exile 1? I don't see how that's going to work. I see them designing an entirely new pool. And that's why on Thursday, I kind of want to talk about endgame in Path of Exile 2 and what exactly that would look like. Because that's just ridiculous. I don't think they can be adding, 50% extra fire or fizz as fire, or 30% increased attack and cast speed and movement speed onto monsters in Path of Exile 2 as basic modifiers. That'll just be way too challenging. Oh, you posted the weapon wheel? Oh, great. In the Discord? Awesome. Oh, Zinski, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to, stream a lot more on Twitch and YouTube once I actually get StreamLabs sorted out. Ah, yes. So scepters are 50% strength, 50% int. Very interesting. Yeah, claws and bows are 100% dex. Maybe they will be a huntress mechanic then. Omega Cybers? Maybe you're right. Okay. Let's move to Anarchy. This was the first/second Path of Exile league added. It was a hardcore league. I'm going to go with a definitely, guys. I think that Anarchy has been leaned so heavily in on Path of Exile 1, and there was also a tie-in with early supporter packs for Anarchy, where if you donated a certain amount, you got to build your own exile. I think this, or a variation of it, is going to be in the initial Path of Exile 2 supporter packs, because you as a player are using such a wide variety of abilities and skills, and in Path of Exile 2, the monsters are doing the same thing. So I think, if anything, Anarchy works even better in Path of Exile 2, where they wanted to have these meaningful, unique monsters that are based on exiles, us. And in Path of Exile 2, just the building blocks for these are so much better. So I definitely think that Anarchy will be in Path of Exile 2, and it will be tied to those first core supporter packs. Maybe there's like a $1,500 supporter pack or something, and you get to design your own rogue exile. What is the mechanic? Yeah, so Anarchy is a mechanic where there's like rogue exiles that are scattered throughout maps, and they're basically player characters that are enemies. So they use player character skills and abilities and all that stuff. And a lot of them were initially created by community members who donated a certain amount in Path of Exile 1's earliest days. So I think they could definitely do something very similar with Path of Exile 2, and I think it would work out better than in Path of Exile 1. Definitely. I'll explain it from the beginning. Anarchy equals rogue exiles. Yes, sorry, I did a bad job explaining it. Yep, these are rogue exiles. Okay. Nemesis. Nemesis is very simple. It introduced a bunch of monster modifiers to Path of Exile 1. A lot of the monster modifiers that have now grown into Arch Nemesis, or Arch Nemesis, if you prefer that pronunciation. It's just more advanced monster mods. Now, I don't think Nemesis itself will appear in Path of Exile 2, but I do think the evolution of Nemesis will. And that is Arc Nemesis, or some variation of that. I don't think in Path of Exile 2 they're going to go with the basic increased monster movement speed or attack speed or cast speed by 50%. I think they will go with those more interesting modifiers that more fundamentally change a monster or a monster pack. And importantly, in Nemesis, the modifiers were added to rare monsters. I do not believe the magic monsters inherited these modifiers. That was more for bloodlines. That was magic monster packs getting cool stuff. Yeah, it doesn't even exist in the game. That's right. Hey, Benny Meyer, what's going on? I feel so good today. I am pumped full of steroids, so I don't have a headache at all. Literally no headache for the first time in 16 days. So I hope it lasts and I can like touch my head and it doesn't hurt anymore. So I'm doing super well. I assume you can tell that I'm a little bit more hyped up than usual. So literally juiced up try. You've always hoped they would have enemy families and the mods boost the enemy skills. Hey, Guitar Holic, don't be talking about families now. You're getting really close to Diablo 4 territory. Oh yeah, Guitar Holic. Yeah, I recorded that after I took my first drug yesterday. And I didn't even put it together, but that is why I was probably unhinged with that silly video that I posted. And the sponsor was like, "Man, your video is kind of wild. You doing okay, man? I really liked it, but it was way different from your past set of videos." And I was like, "Yeah, I was just excited to talk, but it was actually probably the drugs, probably." Okay, so heck nah for or Nemesis domination. I mean, why have we not seen this yet, everyone? Of course, domination is going to be in the game. Domination is just shrines. That's all it is. That is when shrines were introduced to the game. It 100% is going to be in Path of Exile 2. Shrines are implicit in the DNA of ARPGs at this point. You have shrines in Diablo 2, you had shrines in Diablo 3, Diablo 4, Last Epoch. That is the extent of my current true ARPG knowledge. And of course, Path of Exile. We're going to have shrines in Path of Exile 2, and I'm shocked that we haven't actually seen shrines yet before. I don't think there's been any talk about them. They're one of the simplest things. They're so feel good. When you find a shrine, you get that big dopamine hit without actually getting any non-temporary power. Oh yeah, shrines are going to be in Path of Exile 2. 100%. Domination, you think they will use the 3.24 altars for minerals? Oh, yeah, Roy did try essentially. So what do you mean by that, Zinski? Do you mean 3.24 altars for minerals? You guys think they'll get a big rework? Wow, see, I see them as a drag and drop. The plebeian, dude, the follow and the sub at tier 1? Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Calga. Thank you so much. Are you from YouTube as well? I'm guessing. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to stream on YouTube. I'm going to fix that before Thursday. Right. You do have to fight a group of enemies to... Oh, so as in... I get it. So you can't just skip past the mobs, get the power. You have to do a little bit beforehand. See, I'm kind of against that. Because of the way I look at shrines. I see shrines as a pure positive, a moment where you're like, oh my God, thank you. In this cavalcade of death and destruction, there's a power up that as long as I can click on it, I get the power. They're like purely positive. Shrines are never negative. And if they swap to that where it's like, okay, now you need to fight to get this reward, I think that kind of changes up how shrines feel. Does that make sense? Oh, awesome, the plebeian. Glad to hear it. Oh, thank you. I have an Ultra subscription to Streamlabs, but they're saying I don't have an Ultra, so I'm going to talk to their customer support after this. No. Omega Cybers don't even talk about curse shrines, although that's kind of a cool idea. Okay, that's actually kind of a cool idea. Like, oh my God. What if there was like sanctum shrines that give you a boon and a detriment at the same time? I mean, that'd be kind of cool. but temporarily, because then I'm just kind of well, no, I'm not describing altars because they don't really give you a buff. But like some evolution of the Forbidden Sanctum where they're in the open world, that'd be kind of cool. Oh, Guitar Holic, did you not hear me shout you out? Thank you so much for the resub, dude. I was on like YouTube and I did see it and I did shout it out. I appreciate it. What, were you 5 months, dude? Oh, I can't see it anymore. Wait, where is it? Right here, right here. Guitar Holic, 6 months, dude. Guitar Holic with 6 months, Omega with 4 months, or no, 5 months, and Gardisto with 7 months, bro. Bro, that's crazy. I can't even. That's wild. Try Ascendancy has not here, but I was about to say I always thought Sanctum was a proto version of Lad for PoE2. I definitely agree with you. However, they've said that the Ascension mechanic will be different every single league or every single act. So it's not all going to be tied into one thing like the Labyrinth. Maybe they've changed that. It's been a year. We've seen a lot changed. That sounds like the altars from the Wildwood. Eclipse, dude, you're totally right. Nice to see you too, man. I saw you got like a teaching role at your college. That's really awesome. Or it was officialized or whatever. Yeah, we had Eater Exarch altars for that though one. You're right, you're right. Okay. All right, I think this is definitely going to make it in the game. Okay, Invasion. This isn't even in the game anymore. So Invasion was honestly an awesome league where they had weird groups of enemies invading each one of your maps. And they would just have ridiculous modifiers. It was a super rippy league. There were all these rare monsters with just insane ability plus modifier matches. Like, they were rare monsters that were specifically carved to be ridiculous. It doesn't even exist in Path of Exile 1 anymore. It's not going to be in Path of Exile 2. It was almost like a league designed to be unfair. How is it different from Beyond then? Because it was just like Rant, like, say we have the beach, and on the beach there would be a totally different set of mobs that would never be on the beach, like bandits from the Act 2 forest, right? They would be there invading the map and they would be incredibly powerful. So Beyond, you get the monsters from, slaying other monsters. The same type of monsters always spawn from the corpses. But with Invasion, they were specific packs from other areas that would appear in areas where they shouldn't be, and they would be super empowered. Yeah, I'm usually live on my Talkative Try Extras channel, the Plebeian. It's like a smaller channel. It has like 1,000 subs. That's where I will stream. Oh, Ulrich, dude. Yeah. Oh, you might love this. You might love me explaining this. I mean, it's a lot that we're going to go through. It might take more than one stream. Let's see. Intro to game design Eclipse. That's so cool, dude. Okay. Next one. Ambush. We're really going heck nah or definitely. Ambush, those are strong boxes. That's it. Oh my gosh, yeah, look, Omega Cybers, they must have downgraded me. Do you see that? Because my account is StreamLabs. Remember I had the Positive Exile? Oh my gosh, what did they do to my account? I paid $149 for that. We have not seen strong boxes in PoE2. We have seen chests that are magic and rare, and they are not guarded by monsters. And you can't re-roll them. They just have a glow to them. So there's normal chests, magic chests, and rare chests, but you can't re-roll them with modifiers like Ambush. I think 100% this makes it in a Path of Exile 2. There will probably be some evolution here, especially with the modifiers that roll on them. But I think strong boxes will make an appearance in Path of Exile 2. And remember, this is a quote from Jonathan, or it's a paraphrase from Jonathan. What did he say? 80% of PoE1 leagues will be in PoE2 eventually. Isn't that right? I think that's the quote. I think it was 80%. So let's see how on base we are by the end of this list. Ice Cold Snake with the follow. You have a Twitch account, man? I can't even believe this. This is wild. What's going on, dude? How's your latest review going? 80%, that's what he said? Yeah. Okay, Beyond. Okay, so initially when this was added in Path of Exile 1, this essentially is you kill monsters, they spawn portals. If you kill them closer together, the portals spawn more and more monsters. If you kill enough of them closer together, you will spawn a Beyond boss. They used to be reskinned bandits that had wild abilities for the unique bosses, especially a Baxoth, who started in Affliction League. Ulrich, man, you missed out on the crazy Beyond monsters. They were ridiculously unfair, but also super fun to fight. Now they obviously are the Beyond Demons. They're reskinned. They are tougher, more telegraphed. The bosses obviously look cooler and all the like, but the old Beyond Bandits definitely had a charm to them. Will this be in Path of Exile 2? This is a maybe on my part. This is the first maybe. It's kind of, in its current iteration, it kind of goes against what they're doing with Path of Exile 2, where they're getting rid of the visual clarity and everything. And if you were able to juice maps to the extreme and cause more and more monsters to spawn, the more packs you have together, okay, yeah, maybe it won't be in PoE 2. However, I have cooked up the theory that Path of Exile 2 takes us beyond, and we're actually going to go to Path of Exile's version of Hell, or Rayclass version of Hell. And I think the campaign will end with that being unleashed upon Rayclass, and Beyond and the demons themselves will actually be a core part to the endgame story of Path of Exile 2. So I think they might rework Beyond as a mechanic and introduce it into the game. Yeah, Ilya, I totally agree. I think the old Beyond bosses were better. I missed Essence before Beyond? Oh no, I think that's a little later. I think Essence was like 2.0, right? Or something? Or like 3.0? Was it 3.0? What's going on, DeBomb, by the way? Yeah, Beyond is good today. And Ice Cold Snake is not talking. That's fine, Snake. I see you there. I saw the follow. Beyond would be another heavy rework. Okay, how about maybe I'll like do rework in parentheses. Because they are saying they're gonna rework a ton of stuff. I don't think that needs rework. I don't think Shrines does either, but those two definitely do. Okay. 3 point something. Nice. Yeah, it was 3 point something, I think. Okay, the next one, Rampage. Another super simple league mechanic that I think will appear in Path of Exile 2. It is literally the Rampage modifier on gear. It's kill streaks. It was a kill streak league. The more monsters you killed, the more buffs you gave yourself. I think there were 100 different modifiers that you actually gained from Rampage in this league. I don't know if you still can get all 100 of those different modifiers. I think there's a shortened list, but essentially this was just a kill streak. Now, will it be in PoE 2? As a core mechanic? No. Might it be on items? I think that yes, it will stay on the items. So maybe on items is what I'm going with. Doubtful ramp. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're not going to do kill streaks like in Diablo 3 or anything like that, right? Like, is that the last ARPG that really had kill streaks going on? 15 mods today for Rampage. Yeah, Rampage for sword or axe gameplay. Yeah, it's just a unique mod right now. I think that that's what it would exist as in Path of Exile 2. It wouldn't actually be a league mechanic as it was back in this league. And yeah, they removed it as a mechanic after that league, and they only had it on items after that. Torment. Torment are the ghosts, you guys. They're the tormented spirits that can touch magic mobs or inhabit rare and unique mobs, give them unique modifier, or not unique modifiers, but different modifiers based on the type of tormented spirit. I don't think it's going to be in Path of Exile 2. I'm shocked that it's still in Path of Exile 1. I think well, actually, not too shocked. I think it exists as a mechanic for the juicers. The juicers love Torment. And I think that's the only reason it is still in Path of Exile 1 for those juicers. Torment is a yes. You think it's going to be I don't think it is. They are iconic. I don't know. I'm skeptical on Torment. I don't think it's going to make it. I don't think it's going to make it, guys. I think it's staying away, unfortunately. All right, Bloodlines. Bloodlines was like Nemesis, but for entire magic or entire packs. So this is where a lot of your lovely post-death modifiers came in, right? So that is where your, your Fire Blast AoEs, your Cold Blast AoE, all that stuff. This granted modifiers to an entire pack of monsters. It was usually like one modifier, and that was it. It wasn't a lot of different mods to a rare or anything. It was just one mod to an entire magical pack. Will this be in Path of Exile too? Definitely. Definitely. Like, monster packs are going to have modifiers, and I'm sure that they're going to be, interesting. Like I said before, I think they're going to lean into changing the mechanics of the mobs and enhancing that moment-to-moment fight gameplay, instead of just doing like, okay, it does added fire damage. Okay, 20% extra attack speed. Okay, this is hasted. Stuff like that. I do think they're going to lean into the Arc Nemesis design for Path of Exile 2, but stay away from the pure immunities or counters that they started Arc Nemesis with in Path of Exile 1. All right. You have a spoiler answer? Yeah, go for it. Ghosts exist in PoE2. We fight a boss 1 in Act 4. Wait, what boss 1? The pirate? Is he a ghost?
Indeed.
Is the pirate a ghost? Is that what you're talking about? Hey, Necrorizo. Thank you. Yeah, I try to put as much effort into those updates as I can. The Ghost Captain. Okay, yeah, so that's Captain Heartland or something. There's a very similarly named boss in Last Epoch. So that you think there are ghosts. So you're thinking maybe Torment is tied in with Delirium. Ooh. Ice Cold Snake, it worked. You sent a message. What's going on, dude? Going on, man? Potato with the goat message. Heck yeah, potato. I mean potato. I'm sorry. I always mess that up every single time without fail. Oh, Ice Cold Snake. It's so much better, dude. It's so much better. I hope you enjoy it. I know you kind of bounced off from Path of Exile 1 because it was jank, but Path of Exile 2's new player experience is up here. My wife got it very easily. No shots against my wife or anything. Tempest. Chat, do any of you actually know what Tempest is? I mean, I bet some of you do. A few of you. Not a clue. Tempest isn't terribly interesting. Do you know? Yeah, it's like on one map, and then like it's in the what is it? Elva Temple. Elva Temple. You can get Tempest. Yeah, like they are the circles, and you get a buff from running into them. Whoa, whoa. I mean, just heck not. I mean, what can they? They could evolve this mechanic, but would they really tie it back to Tempest, guys? Would they tie it back to Tempest or turn it into just something brand new? Like, it's such a basic mechanic. I don't think you can really evolve it in a real meaningful way. 30-minute at PAX was great. Ice Cold Snake. Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, I know you really enjoyed the PoE2 there. Yeah, it's boring. It's boring. I don't think there was the lore of the Tempest. Maybe there was like, oh, there are storms raging about, Rayclast. Jump into them to buff yourself. I don't know. A lot of the early leagues didn't have lore around them. If you're listening to my explanations here, you don't actually start getting a lot of lore until like Parandus and Prophecy. I think that's right, really when they started turning it around. Like real quality into the leagues too. I think that kicks up with like these two, and even more so with Breach. It would have to be a heavy rework. Oh yeah, so it would be unrecognizable. So I'm gonna put it in the heck nah. All right, warbands. Okay, so warbands, kind of interesting. In Path of Exile 2 via an Atlas passive tree node right now, I believe. I mean, in Path of Exile 1, sorry. These are just bands of creatures that are led by a warband leader that invade your maps. It's kind of like Invasion. These guys, according to Mark Roberts, had really sophisticated artificial intelligence. Like they acted a certain way based on how they were engaged, whether or not they had a leader and all that stuff, but nobody ever noticed. So they never really developed it. And they just left the AI of the monsters pretty much the same. I actually learned that. I think I was listening to an interview for the most famous and infamous players, and Neon said that. Like, it's really cool, but it never took off. Like, players didn't care about it that much. But there were a bunch of unique war bands, and I mean, it was kind of like Trial of the Ancestors, but appearing in your maps. Like, there would be unique packs of monsters that could appear, and they were led by specific leaders and all that stuff. So it's cool. So I think that it could appear in Path of Exile too. It would just need a rework. So I'm going to put it under the maybe. Yeah, Rogue Exiles 2.0. Yep. Exile hit squads. Yeah, they're like the gemlings from Act 8. Yes. I think this is a hecknob, but something using similar concepts. Yeah, right. So you're actually right, Guitarholic. I think this is a heckna, but something will come from this in Path of Exile too. With that tech. Yeah, I agree, Cirrus. That's when you started playing PoE, when Piety was the last boss?
Blood tribute.
And you just picked it back up in Crucible? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Hey, thanks for the follow, Daristov. I appreciate that. Okay. Talisman. This is the favorite league of Chris Wilson, created by Chris Wilson. You would find talismans in your maps or areas. They were amulets, and you could corrupt them on altars, combine them together to get, cool modded ones. And they added one boss to the game. It was the wolf guy. His name is escaping me, but it was a wolf guy, and he's now a map boss. I don't think Talisman's gonna make it, guys. Oh yeah, Guitarholic. I loved the Act 2 boss with the hyenas. I don't think there's much more to say. It's just like an item mechanic. They're corrupted. You can't even edit them. I don't think they're going with that in PoE 2. I think they want you to be able to like build on items constantly with the way Chaos Orbs work and everything. Rigwald. Yep. Rigwald is the boss. You're right. Yeah, it's very outdated. Very outdated. It will break Chris Wilson's heart. Hopefully he doesn't watch this one. Let's hope. Okay. Parandus, everyone. So Parandus was another pretty simple league. It was the first introduction of gold in Path of Exile 2 with Parandus coins, wherein you could collect them from killing monsters and finding them from little caches that spawned with special Parandus mobs guarding them, and you could trade them in with one NPC for unique items. Parandus would be in each area of the map, I believe. I'm going off memory for a lot of these. Like I wasn't around during Parandus League. This is just my knowledge of reading stuff. And you could trade for one unique item per map. And if you didn't have enough Parandus coins for like a headhunter, you were screwed essentially. So this is a heck nah. We literally have gold, guys. Parandus is no way returning to the game. Oh, right. But Ascendancy wasn't, it was like a core game expansion. That's when guilds work together, Necrorizo. Ascendancy, it was a core game system. It was like War for the Atlas, Right, right. He does not have anything to do with Syndicate Zinski. No. There's like members of his family in the Immortal Syndicate because he's a big character in the lore. Kadiro Parandis is the guy you were interacting with. And he was a core member of the Immortal Empire, like with what's that, Izaro and all those guys. Yeah, Nameless Seer is a free version of Parandis League. Okay. All right, Prophecy now. Now, this one is very interesting, guys, because it's not currently in Path of Exile 1. But I think it could have a place in Path of Exile 2. I really do think it could. I think that Last Epoch, you know, that game has its faults, right? But I think, oh, let me explain this. Sorry. So you would be able to find prophecies, essentially little items that would say, if you do X, Y will occur. So if you kill this map boss will drop this item, right? Stuff like that. If you go into the next time you go into a map, you will find 10 packs of harmless frogs. If you do the labyrinth, you will have 2 extra uses of the altar at the end to give yourself more enchantments. So I think that this does have a place in Path of Exile 2, some evolution of it. But it's a rework. It's not just going to be how it worked before the prophecies. And yes, omens are a lot like prophecies are. They're just not as, they're not as varied, right? Because there's no omen that says, okay, the next time you go into this particular map, you're going to get 12 extra packs of monsters or stuff like that. Thanks, Lady Lisa. I don't think you're real. Prove to me that you're real, Lady Lisa. That's a very suspect name. Which Path of Exile League is your favorite, Lady Lisa? I miss Navali too. I think she's going to be in Path of Exile. Okay, you seem real. I now think you're real. That was just a very suspect name and first message from you, okay? That's it. Got her. Okay. All right. So that is the first set. So let's see. This is all the way to let me go Path of Exile 1 leagues here. That's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 leagues in Path of Exile. The first 14 leagues, we have 1, heck yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, no. Okay, heck nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 14, heck nah. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 definitely. And by process of elimination and math, that means 2, maybe. I'm a big math dude. That's why I'm a Path of Exile player. Very interesting. We're going to add the next set now. So here is the next set of leagues, everyone. Right here, we're going to add Essence, Breach, Legacy, Harbinger, Abyss. Let's see. This, my eyesight. Bestiary, Bestarty. How about that? Not Bestiary, guys. It's Bestiary. Incursion. I fight with people about that all the time. Delve. Betrayal. Synthesis. Oh my gosh. Legion. Blight. Metamorph. That's when I started to play. Blight. Delirium. COVID time. Harvest. Heist. And then we'll do Ritual. That's the next set. All right. I wasn't around during Synthesis. I didn't read your message on Prophecy? What? Omega Cybers, did I miss you? Heck no, we have gold. I don't even see your mech. Upgrading your uniques used to be in endgame is really vital. Yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was a great system. I thought it was a really cool deterministic system. Maybe it was too easy. Reaper John, you really liked synthesis? Okay, okay. The bestiary incursion better be in there. All right. Bestiary rework, love incursion, or lots of incursion lovers. Metamorph was your first 40 out of 40. Mundanugu, yep, that was my first 36 out of 40. I hate that portal though. The Metamorph portal's just like, it's not good. No, it's not. Okay. All right. Real leagues, guys. Essence. Did you actually know that in some interview with a smaller YouTube channel, Jonathan confirmed this like in 2023 at Gamescom? Did you guys know that? Like he said Essence would be in PoE2. But since it was in a smaller channel's interview and like it was right after ExileCon 2023, it's been so long and so much has changed. I'm kind of skeptical on this. What do you guys think about that? I don't know how many of you remember that, but I've not been putting it in my videos as confirmed because it's been so long. But it happened. It was in an interview, I think on like RPG Gigon's channel. He did an interview with Jonathan that was like 8 minutes. And they talked about leagues and he like said, yeah, Essence is in PoE2. But it was a very small interview, so I have not like cited it. Right, the crafting is kind of powerful here. I think they'd have to change up the crafting or just make it something like you can craft essences on jewelry. Do you guys remember that? That's kind of how they wanted to do crafting in Path of Exile. They're like, okay, delve is for weapons and essence is for jewelry, and then you use the crafting bench to improve your armor and stuff like that. How interesting would that be? Oh, massive for SSF. Definitely. This has been confirmed. The breach. Sorry, Essence. Sorry for those people who don't know what Essence is. Monster is trapped in a crystal prison. It's imbued with some essences, these little crystals that basically drop as crafting materials if you kill the monster. And you can upgrade essences into various tiers, and they affect different pieces of gear in different ways. You know, one essence will do something different to jewelry compared to a weapon and the like. Ooh, Guitar Holic. That's an interesting idea. Crafting bench is 100% being removed and replaced with the rune word implicit idea, I reckon. Yeah. Well, Reaper John, Chaos adds one stat and removes one stat now, too. The crafting is definitely gonna, like, they're not dumbing down the game, guys. Like, there's gonna be a lot of this stuff in the game. I'm so confident on that. I don't see them trying to make this, you know, very simple but powerful like Last Epoch or Diablo 4. I really don't. And I'm kind of glad. I want it to remain distinct. I don't want 3 variations of the same type of crafting system out there to exist just because it has been received well in like Last Epoch and Diablo 4. I think that the way they have it in PoE1, if it was streamlined a bit more, as hopefully it will be in Path of Exile 2, is just superior. And it's deeper. Oh my goodness, you are all going to be so upset. You're all going to be so upset. My beautiful, beautiful viewers. I have a responsibility as a father. And I did say I would get off at 8. I'm sorry for the technical issues that we occurred. We will be back on Thursday. I have to get my other daughter to bed, and it's my turn to take my infant daughter too. So we do shifts. My wife sleeps until 11:30. Then we swap. I go into the bedroom, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. So I'm so glad that I had everything figured out. I'm going to get on StreamLabs. I'm going to see why they downgraded me from Ultra, even though I paid my bill on July 14th. So we will be on YouTube for the next stream. I'm probably going to upload this to my extras channel just as a video. But we will continue this list on Thursday, and hopefully we get the whole hour or hour and a half. I do have to end early too because my daughter had a nap today. And I have to put her to bed now. Because usually she would go to bed at 7, but she had a nap, so that's why I was like, oh, we're going to start at 7, and I'll stream till 8 and everything. But, okay. Thank you all so much. Let me throw you guys to somebody. I'll raid you. I'll raid a fellow creator. Do we got anybody that I'm following online? We've got Subtractum. We've got Captain Lance. I know, Omega Cybers. I swear, we are going to have a far longer stream when Path of Exile 2 comes out. I already got that approved. We good. I'll do Subtractum, you guys. Have fun with him. He had a really popping off video. So I'm gonna raid you guys over there. Okay. No, I chose Subtractum. Sorry, Zinski. Lance will be next time. Oh, I can't wait for Path of Exile 2, you guys. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. All right, I'll see y'all on Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you and all the subs. Talakura. Yeah, Talakura is the right one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, my Chaos Res is not capped yet. Actually, I guess it is with my